All right, what's up, everybody? I wanted to talk about I guess it's like a concept of a program that you could do for your overall health, but more so for long-term habit forming, and something that you would do short-term to kind of build some habits and see how you can experiment with certain things and see how they feel. So, what it is it's a 21. I call it a 21-day reset, and 21 days because you've always heard um, the old saying, it takes 21 days to form a habit. Um, so during COVID, I think it was the first winter, maybe it was the second one, I can't remember. I did this more so for people from my gym, and as a way for people to have a little bit of accountability. And a lot of people then their health was directly attached to something that they couldn't control, like an outside factor, like a jiu-jitsu gym or a conventional gym or whatever. How they worked out was at a Good Life, or how they worked out was at a training jiu-jitsu or training boxing or whatever. And there's nothing wrong with that. The only issue with having that is that if something happens, like COVID, like a government whatever shutdown or whatever, that's your health and your fitness is directly related to that thing in which you don't control. And I think that's a fundamental error with people. And that is one thing that I've always worked out independently since I was a kid. I just don't like training with people. I enjoy working out by myself. Obviously, with jiu-jitsu, you need a body to grapple with. But when it comes to fitness related, I've always had independent fitness plans and programs and so on. So I didn't have an issue with that, but a lot of people did. And a lot of people did have that issue. And that was one thing I learned during COVID, that 100% you absolutely cannot leave that type of thing in people's hands. So what the 21-day reset is it's four aspects or four elements, you could say, that you do non-negotiable tasks every day. So the four areas are diet, exercise, or training, whatever you want to say, something to do with your mental health or your spiritual health or progression, and a vice, bad habit, or you want to form a new good habit. So those are the four areas. So I'll go into kind of depth on the four of them. We'll start with exercise. So exercise is fairly straightforward, but you're going to exercise an hour a day. Now, how that's broken down, how I would break that down for people now, is a minimum of 3 10-minute walks post-meal. Okay, so every single day, when you eat, after you eat, you go for a walk for 10 minutes. I personally go on a spin bike. You could go on an elliptical if you have one at your house or whatever. It doesn't really matter. It's light cardio post-meal. What that's going to do for you is, number one, it's going to improve your digestion like crazy. Okay, I can't speak to this enough. The other big one is that it regulates your blood sugar after you eat. Now, I don't have a blood sugar issue per se, but it's a good thing to do. So why wouldn't you want to do that? But if you do have a blood sugar issue, you probably have a digestion issue. And if you have, and I mean everybody can have a digestion issue if you eat a lot, and I eat a lot in a sitting sometimes. So these walks to me are very, very, very beneficial. So you do 3 of those per day, and then you're going to do an additional 30 minutes of some other type of exercise. What I would suggest is, and I'll say this too, if you're seeing this and you love the concept but you have no idea what to do, if you wanted to actually like hire me to program this for you, I'm happy to do that, and as a one-time thing. But if you don't need that, which I would assume most people can figure something out on their own, or they already have a fitness, they already have ideas of what they would do for these 4 elements. You can choose whatever you want. It's not about that. It's more about the habits than anything. But that's always an option. So, exercise. 3 10-minute walks a day, but also 30 minutes of other types of training. Now, that could be your sport that you train in. That could be resistance training. I would suggest that everybody does at least one heavy resistance session a week. And when I say heavy, I mean intense. I don't mean necessarily heavy weights. And that's good. Nobody makes a smoothie like your boy. And also, you can add in other forms of cardio. You can add in yoga, okay, which I highly recommend for anybody who's doing any type of intense, either resistance training or a sport like jiu-jitsu. Can't recommend yoga enough. So you're going to do 30 minutes of that a day plus 3 10-minute walks every day. You commit to it and that's it. Ideally, you should program what you do each week. So you know what you're doing. I would say not to leave that up to chance. If you're too sore for this, too sore for that, whatever, but you can still walk, then maybe do an extra longer walk or a hike or a ruck or a whatever. Doesn't matter. The point is you're doing something, you're finding time every single day for 3 weeks straight that you're exercising. Now, I do not suggest that you do resistance training every day. You should spread that out. You don't want to work out intensely every day. I would spread that out too. But you can build up your volume very, very quickly doing this. So that's exercise. Diet, a little bit more to this one. Most people who are dieting are trying to lose weight or trying to lose fat. Most people, I would say the overwhelming majority of people that I speak to, they want to lose fat. A big aspect of losing fat is building muscle, which is the exercise part of it. However, when it comes to the eating side of things, you need to create a calorie deficit. That is how you lose weight. Now, the same principle works in the opposite way. If you want to gain weight, you need a calorie surplus. Can you lose fat and build muscle at the same time? It's possible under very strict circumstances and with when it comes to certain starting points. So there's 3 ways to create a calorie deficit. I think it was Peter Attia, I believe, where I heard this. Could be wrong. Maybe I heard it from someone else about what Peter Attia said, but you can restrict a food group. So let's say you're going to cut out all processed food, or you're going to cut out all sugar, or cut out all animal products, or cut out all plant products, whatever. Everybody's done something like that in the past. Or they've talked to somebody who's like, oh, all you got to do is cut out sugar. All you got to do is cut out carbs. Okay? What you are doing by doing that is you're eliminating a massive aspect of calories that you intake, and you're putting yourself in a calorie deficit. I do not personally recommend this type of dieting, but it can be quite successful for people. And so I don't want to leave it out. Some people, the best diet, quoting Stan Efferding, the best diet is the one that you'll follow. So if for you have to eliminate a certain food product, and that's the only way that you're going to be able to do it, then you should do that. You should do whatever it is that creates that calorie deficit for you. The reason why I don't recommend it, if people are asking my opinion on these things, is because it's not very accurate. You don't really know how many calories you're cutting unless you count. And if you go into too steep of a deficit, then you're going to lose muscle and so on. There's a lot of factors there. And just because you've cut out certain food groups does not mean that you cannot gain weight. You absolutely can. You just have to eat more of that other food. But the nature of cutting out giant food groups is that you're just going to eat less food. Simple, okay? I don't want to offend people with that, but it is absolutely true, okay? Now, are there other aspects of things like hormones and so on? And yeah, of course. But those are so minor that the major issue is calories. So you can restrict food groups. Number 2 is you can restrict the time in which you allow yourself to eat. So your time windows. So with like intermittent fasting, okay? I, again, do not recommend this to people, but there are people who find great success doing this. They eat 3 medium-sized meals a day, and they go from eating 3 medium-sized meals to 2 medium-sized meals. Yeah, you're going to lose weight. You're dropping calories, okay? We're seeing a trend here. You have to be in a calorie deficit to lose weight, flat out. If you took two people, both the exact same activity level, exact same hormones, situation, exact same everything, exact same basal metabolic rate, they burn the exact same amount of calories every day. If you feed one, and let's say that 3,000 calories is a small calorie surplus for both individuals, one individual is eating literally whatever they want within that 3,000 calories. They're both eating the same protein, by the way. Eating 3,000 calories of processed food. Okay, whatever they want. Ice cream, pizza, blah, blah, blah. But they're hitting their protein. And the other person is eating all whole foods. Lean meats, whole plant foods, fruits, blah, 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 and whatever. Both of those people, if they're eating the same amount of calories, are going to gain the exact same amount of weight. You're going to say, no, that's bullshit. One guy's eating good, one guy's eating bad. Okay, what does eating good mean? Okay. Am I going to argue that it's better to eat processed food than it is to eat whole foods? No, of course not. You should eat the right food for you, the right types of food. But number one, when it comes to weight loss specifically, is the amount of food, not the type of food. I've said this before, but I can't speak it enough, okay? What you'll find between those two individuals is that the one who eats the whole foods and the lean meats and the whatever is probably quite a bit more energetic. They probably have a lot more, they probably have better levels of vitamins and nutrients and minerals and so on. Their digestion is probably better. There's a lot of good things about it. But when it comes to weight loss specifically, it's about the amount of food, okay? Anyways, moving on. So you got intermittent, you can cut out the time restrict, you can take away or restrict your food groups, okay? Those are the two. Now let's say the third option, which is the one I recommend, which is counting what you eat, okay? It's called AKA counting calories. Is it tedious? Is it annoying? Yeah, it can be, for sure. But nothing is more accurate, and nothing allows you to eat more foods. And it gives you an understanding of what foods have what, which is, I think, the most important part. And once you do it for a little while, you can understand what foods have what. What is that big glob of peanut butter that you have every night? What is that worth? What is it? How much is it? What's whole milk versus skim milk? Like little things like that will let you see where calories are. Dressings and so on. And if you count everything, even for a small period of time, you will understand what things have what. And you'll understand, okay, this is what it feels like to eat the right amount of food. And then you know that if you don't feel that way, that maybe you overate or maybe you had something bad or whatever, and you go by the scale, okay? So you don't need to do it forever, but counting calories and understanding. Now, what I prescribe to people when it comes to this, I don't give a shit if it's carbs or fat. I don't care what it is that you like to have. Some people like to have higher fat, some people like to have higher carbs. I'm a big carb guy, lower fat. Some people like a lot of fat. They like a lot of fatty meats and whatever, maybe nuts and seeds, blah, blah, blah. Okay, cool, good. Whatever it is that you like to do, you should do. So you have a minimum amount of protein. I don't think that this number is very high, but it is a number, and if you don't eat very much food right now, you're probably thinking it's going to be a lot. So find your ideal body weight or your lean body weight, okay? Just go into Google up ideal weight calculator or whatever and type that in, okay? And there's going to be 4 or 5 different formulas. Pick the average, whatever, okay? Whatever that number is, you want 1.6 grams of protein per day per kilogram of that lean body weight. So you take your lean body weight, which for me, let's say is 170, 160. 160, let's say, is my lean body weight. And I divide that by 2.2, which I can't remember offhand what that is, times 1.6. That's how many grams of protein I get. I think it's about 120. That is what I have in a day, bare minimum. Now, you can have a lot more than that if you're comfortable with it, but you don't need to, right? 1.6 grams per kilogram is the last big study that they did on this, that when you have more protein than that, doesn't necessarily help you build more muscle. Now, with that said, there's other benefits to having higher protein, which I don't want to get into right this moment because it'll take a while, but there's benefits to it. There's nothing wrong with having more. So you have a minimum amount of protein and then a maximum amount of calories, right? You find out your calorie amount. You can go on, if you need somebody to program it for you, I can, or you just go on to Google, find a calculator for calories, figure out what would be a slight deficit for you. I don't think that, unless you have a lot of weight to lose, I never suggest more than 20% of a deficit. I would say somewhere between 10 and 20. Find out what that amount of food is per day, and you track your food. Track your food, and you put it in the little, I use Nutrition X. That's the best app I've ever found. Like Under Armour has one, and there's lots of them out there, but that's the one I like the best. Okay, so that's the diet part of it. So you have exercise, you have diet, and basically what you're doing with the diet part of it is you are, whatever you commit to, you are sticking to that. And whatever that is, you are sticking to it. Now, what I would say as well is there's going to be punishments if you don't do things, which I'll talk about last. So number 3, I want to whip through this. I got like 3 more minutes before this is this fucking stupid long video. Pardon me for cursing. The third aspect is the mental or spiritual health aspect of it, which I think ties in a lot to, you can have a lot of good in your life, but if you don't have, if your mental health is off, or if your spiritual health is off, everything will fall apart. I believe that all of these things are all connected. So what that means is you're gonna commit to 10, maybe 15 minutes a day of some sort of practice that is directly for your own mental stability or your own spiritual growth. Okay, so what that would be maybe it's prayer if you're a Christian or a Muslim or something, or maybe it is, and maybe you already do this stuff. Okay, that's fine. It's just I already exercise every day, so that's the easy part for me, and I pretty much always diet, so those were easy for me. This is the part I don't always put time away for this. Other things that you could do would be maybe meditation, which would be more like I would be doing. Meditation or journaling or audio journaling, which is something I started to do a couple years ago, where you just kind of have something on your mind and you just put on your sound recorder on your phone and you record yourself talking about whatever. And then you can listen to it after. It can be quite therapeutic, actually. Yeah, it can be quite therapeutic. Can you go down here? I can. Yeah, I think I can go down this way. Can I? No, I can't. So, anyways, what you're looking to do, 15 minutes, maybe it is a gratitude practice. Maybe it is journaling for the day before or the next day, or your plans for the future, or maybe it's like creative writing, or again, meditation, chanting, whatever. There's 100 different things that you could do. Guided meditations, yoga nidra practices from YouTube. There's 100 different things that you could be doing. Okay, and that type of practice, when you have that, is every time I do something like it, I'm always like, how do I not make this happen every day? Every time I do it. Okay. Now the last one is going to be about habits. It's going to be either breaking a bad one or adding a new healthy one, or one that you would like to be better at. So as an example, for me, it will be forming a new habit, which is making videos like this. I'll be making a video every single day. I don't know exactly when I'm going to start this. I think sometime in mid-December I'm going to start this. But I'm going to make a video every single day. It'll be about whatever I'm doing for workouts, or maybe my food, something that's on my mind, or a certain topic I want to discuss, or whatever. That's going to be a part of this. Now, or it can be something, maybe there's a habit that you want to break. Maybe you want to quit smoking weed, or maybe you want to stop vaping, or whatever. You want to stop stopping for fast food on the way to something, or there's a habit that you always do that you want to break. Maybe you want to stop watching porn, or you want to stop, you want to leave your phone at home when you go to work, or whatever. I don't know. Maybe you want to limit your screen time. There's 100 different things. Maybe you want to do a cold tub every day. I don't know. Whatever. You can use it to form a new habit. It can be something small, or you can use it to form or to get away a bad habit. Okay, so that's the 4 elements. Now, whatever it is that you commit to. So I'm going to diet. I'm going to watch my calories every day. I'm going to not exceed this amount. I'm going to exceed this amount for protein. I do that every single day. I'm going to do workout every single day. I'm going to do 3 10-minute walks plus 30 minutes of training. I have it planned out of what I'm going to do each day. I have a 7-day schedule, and I'm going to journal for 15 minutes every single day about how this thing is going and what I want to see from the future for myself, or whatever. And on the other one is I'm going to make a video every single day. Okay, those are my 4. What happens if you don't do it? Okay, you got to be punished, right? The punishment is 2 things. 1 is 100 burpees. Nobody likes burpees, okay, except for us sickos. And you got to do 100. Take you about 10 minutes if you're going fairly quick, or 3 minutes in a cold shower, and I mean no hot water, cold shower in 3 minutes. Okay, those are your 2 punishments. So you have to make it something that you don't want to do, because then that's going to cause you to complete this, right? Which is what we want. So that's what that is. What this will do, this will give you, sorry for the close up there, everybody. What this will give you is, it doesn't give you a backdoor. Every single day you got to do these things. You commit to it. You have to do these certain aspects of your day every single day, and it will allow you to form these really, really positive habits. And it will be harder. It'll become hard to stop doing them, right? You'll feel strange after on day 22 when you don't work out or whatever. And basically it'll show you like, hey, okay, maybe I'm not going to work out every single day, but I really love this everyday, dedicated meditation. Or I love this every day. I'm trying to work these habits out, or trying to get this good habit in check. It's all good for you. And again, if you just need a little bit of a reset, it can really, really help you out. And it's helped me out before. I've done it a couple times. And, it just seemed like maybe I'm just not quite as disciplined as maybe I should be, or whatever the case is, right? So that's what it is. 21-day reset. I'll probably post again about doing it beforehand. Yeah, good luck. If you have any questions, reach out. If you would like to have me actually work with you and program it for you and keep you accountable and so on, reach out for coaching. Happy to help. Peace.